Follow the trend, tend to benefit while avoiding harm. Hello, this is Mr. D. In the next few videos, I want to share with you how to arrange a formation of Liu Ren. Let me tell you the good news first. You don't have to memorize the knowledge of the next few videos by rote, because the phone app will remember these rules for us. But you must know their principles, which means you must know how and why to do that. In actual operation, the phone app will help you complete all the tedious preparatory works. Before sharing with you what is the earth plate and the heaven plate, let's review the necessary knowledge that I introduced in the previous videos. These 10 symbols represent 10 heavenly steps, and these 12 symbols represent 12 terrestrial branches. In order to facilitate your reading, I replaced them with 22 different English letters. Is it okay to do it like this? Yeah, it's fine. Because what you need to understand is the meaning behind these 22 symbols, not what these 22 symbols are. Just like when we express gratitude to others, we can say 谢谢 in Chinese, or say thank you in English, or say Dank in German, or say mercy in French. These 4 words of thank you are different, but the meaning behind them is the same. Because the meaning behind each symbol of the 10 heavenly steps and the 12 terrestrial branches is very rich, so I will spend a lot of time to share in the future. Please don't hurry and subscribe this channel. Only the 12 terrestrial branches are needed to establish the earth plate and the heaven plate, so we will only look at the 12 terrestrial branches first. How do the 12 terrestrial branches make up the earth plate? The 12 terrestrial branches are arranged like this to form the earth plate. The first thing you need to know is that the 12 terrestrial branches are in order. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, 10th, 11th, 12th, and first, second, third, fourth. This is the order of the 12 terrestrial branches. Because its shape is like a plate, this is why the name of the earth plate is called the earth plate. The earth plate is always the same. No matter when we use Liu Ren to predict things, the earth plate will always be like this. I emphasize that the form of the earth plate will never change, because the form of the heaven plate changes over time. Before talking about the heaven plate, let's review a few knowledge points that I have talked about before. The ancient Chinese divided a day into 12 hours, which means that the length of 2 hours today is equal to the length of 1 hour in the ancient China. Seeing the total number of 12, you will definitely think of the 12 terrestrial branches. In ancient China, a day was divided into 12 hours, and each hour was named after the 12 terrestrial branches. This table shows which 2 hours of modern time correspond to each hour of ancient time. For example, our modern 5 o'clock AM to 7 o'clock AM. This time period in ancient China was called Mao hour. Our modern 1 o'clock PM to 3 o'clock PM. This time period in ancient China was called Wei hour. Remember the general of the month I said before? When the Chinese ancients used Liu Ren to predict things, they needed a symbol to represent the sun. That symbol is called the general of the month. As you can tell from the name, the general of the month changes every month. The ancient Chinese divided the time of a year into 24 solar terms. The period of every 2 solar terms is 1 month. The names of the general of the month are also named after the 12 terrestrial branches. This table shows in different solar terms which of the 12 terrestrial branches was used by the ancients to represent the general of the month of each month. If you don't understand what I am talking about, please watch the previous videos in this series. Okay, after reviewing these knowledge points, let's build the heaven plate. I use the case I talked about recently as an example. On 5 p.m. December 26, 2020, my friend asked me, will their cooperation be realized next year? When we want to use Liu Ren to predict the development of things, the first step we need to do is to determine what the general of the month is today. Let's take a look at this table. After winter solstice, the general of the month are Chou, and after greater cold, the general of the month are Zi. In the 2020 lunar calendar, the winter solstice is on December 21st, 2020 in the Gregorian calendar, and the greater cold is on January 20th, 2021 in the Gregorian calendar. The date of December 26th, 2020 is before the greater cold and after the winter solstice, so the general of the month on this day is Chou, which is B. The second step we need to do is to put the general of the month on the corresponding time. What is the corresponding time? This is the corresponding time, which is the point in time when we want to use Liu Ren to predict something. In this example, it is the time of 5 p.m. Let's check this table to see what is the name of this time point in ancient China. Here, the name from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. is You hour, which is J hour. Put the general of the month B above the time J, then arrange the 12 terrestrial branches in order clockwise. C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L. Give you 5 seconds to guess what symbol should be here. Give you a word as a hint. Cycle. I think you must have guessed it correctly. It should be A. Now that you know how the heaven plate is established, then you must also understand why the heaven plate changes over time. Movement is relative. If you want to observe the law of movement of a thing, you must have a static state of things as a reference. For example, when we talk about the future, we must have the present and the past. If there is no present and the past, there will be no future. Everything has the attributes of yin and yang. The earth plate is yin and the heaven plate is yang. You can think of the symbols in the heaven plate as something to happen or to represent someone, and the symbols in the earth plate is the thing or the person's situation. Let me take the case I have shared as an example. This is the time when the question was raised, and this is the question: will their cooperation be realized next year? Here are the 3 transmissions. The first line represents the beginning of the thing. Let's look for J in the heaven plate. Here it is. Let's see what the symbol on the earth plate here. It is F. On December 26, 2020, the status of F is empty. I said before that empty means nothing and unreliable. HS is the abbreviation of the hollow sky, one of the 12 celestials, which represents deception. J's earth plate is F, which status is empty. It is like an object falling into a bottomless pit, and we will never be able to obtain it. So we can see its failure from the beginning of the thing. I haven't finished introducing all the knowledge about the Earth plate and the Heaven plate. In order to let you know as soon as possible what is the 4 courses, 9 forms of the 3 transmissions, and the full picture of Liu Ren, I only give a general introduction of the Earth plate and the Heaven plate to you in this video. In future videos, I will continue to introduce the Earth plate and the Heaven plate in detail. Subscribe, be your own prophet.